Welcome to the Innovation Squadcast. If you are looking for a podcast about instructional strategies enhanced by technology, you came to the right place. In our conversations, we will talk with tech experts, share ideas and strategies to help you build your toolbox with tools that you can use in your class immediately.
Welcome to the Innovation Squadcast, and thanks for making us part of your educational PD journey. First-time listeners, welcome. We are glad you are here, and for our returning listeners, welcome back. Today, we are discussing gamification, leveling up student engagement, and I'm so excited to get to talk to you guys. I didn't get to go to the session for Innovation Summit, so I'm very excited to hear what you guys shared. I know it was a very popular session that a lot of people were talking about and gave us some really great feedback on, and so we're talking about gamification, leveling up. We're talking about, what does a Kahoot type game really tell us about our students' learning? And we want to change that up by adding gamification into your classroom instruction and assessments. You're moving up on Bloom's taxonomy while increasing meaningful engagement. We want students to be cognitively engaged, not behaviorally engaged.
And keep that in mind moving forward.
Yes.
That's the biggest takeaway, is being engaged cognitively, not behaviorally.
Absolutely. And in this episode, we're going to be discussing ways to add gamification and give you some resources so you can add gamification into your classroom today. Before we get started, let's pause for this week's tech tip.
This is your quick tip of the week. We're going to talk about Schoology notifications. There are a couple places you can update your notifications. The first one is to go to your name. Under the name, go to settings. And the second tab is notifications. From here, you can add a mobile number. You can edit which ones you want to get emails for academic, for school groups, public groups, school, or personal notifications. You can also go to a specific course, and you can go to the top right-hand side under your name, click on notifications, and you can check or uncheck what you want to see per class.
All right, hope you enjoyed that tech tip. And so, we're not knocking on Kahoot games. Kahoot games are great, right? They have their place, but you can use those in one way, and then you can add gamification, I think, in another way, is what I've kind of gained from what you guys have been talking about and preparing for our podcast. And so, let's talk about what gamification is, and then let's share some examples on how we can do that.
So gamification kind of says it itself. You're turning your everyday typical instruction assessments into fun. Make it a game. What's the saying? Life is a game. Have fun while you do it. So make teaching fun. Make it a game. Include your kids are going to, 10 times more engaged. Just going from our session alone.
We covered everything in that session, whether it was TDA. We're going to get to that one. How can you make TDA fun? Well, you can make them fun.
Yep.
It doesn't matter what you teach.
No.
Math, science, it doesn't matter what level, anything. So,
and it can be examples of how you've already taught. It can be something new. We had talked to a couple of teachers, and they talked about using it as a pre-assessment. So that was one way, and knocking off the paper pencil and turn it into a game.
And
let's so easy,
right?
Let's have
and
fun.
Let's not just think that it's teachers doing it with their students.
Right.
Some of the instructional coaches that were in there, were thinking these are great for our PD days or our faculty meetings, and how to get the staff involved and engaged as well.
So number one, ask your coach if they attended the session, because I have a feeling some of them are going to go back to PD days and use that in the schools.
Yes.
Yeah. And so giving some shout outs to, you guys learned this at ISTE, and what were the presenters' names?
It's I'm going to be terrible at the last name. So Michael Matera and John Meehan, they are absolutely amazing. They're the masterminds behind this. If you really want to get in more detail, Pam Hubler can tell you all about them.
We also have a bunch of resources in the show notes that are linked to some books that they wrote, their Twitter accounts, things like that, where they.
So long story short, they are authors of How to Become Fully Engaged with Gamification, a couple of different books on how to take this step by step and implement it into your classroom. But I think the most important takeaway of one of this is, if you look in the show notes, you're going to see EM Squared Learning. That is their website, and that's where you will find most of their resources. So take a look at their books, take a look at their website. You can get a lot of information that way. So those, they are the masterminds. They listen to them, follow them. They're just truly fun people, and they are teachers.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see the teachers using it, writing about it, not just a presenter.
When you sit through a session and it's constantly going and fun, excuse me, and engaging and wondering what's coming next, think about your students sitting in the class being constantly engaged and having fun and, ooh, what's coming next?
Yes. And I know from ISTE, and I think I can speak for the summit last week, like people did not want to leave this session.
Yeah, it was definitely a big hit. I know everybody was talking about how much they had fun in there. Yeah.
There wasn't even anyone who wanted to take a bathroom break in the hour and a half. They were like, what's next? Let's keep going.
Yeah. Like Nicole didn't even want to go run extra copies.
I know. I didn't want to miss anything.
So what are some examples of gamification that we have shared inside the resources, and as you know, teachers are listening to this, what ways can they kind of incorporate those into their classroom?
So I'm kind of going to go down the list just to kind of do a step-by-step how we did in our sessions. The first thing started out with story dice. We've all heard about the story dice, picture dice. That's something you can take from the bottom of Bloom's taxonomy, where a multiple choice would be understand. You can take it all the way to the top with the story dice by letting those students create their own stories. The example that we gave, we had 4 pictures. We had a whirlwind, a magnet, a reward, and something else. But we told the teachers write about the last few years using those images. Something simple. You would literally roll a dice, pick pictures, and they would have 3 minutes to write. They did not want to stop writing. And when we told them to stop after 3 minutes, all you heard was laughter. Yeah. Like they were truly laughing. So that was just taking them from the Kahoot, the Jeopardy style multiple choice, and making it to where they create something. They did the same thing. I didn't have to think of it in the background of how to make that question into multiple choice. They gave me what I needed just right there. The next step was we kind of went into more. So we went into Alpha Blast. Just a quick recap of Alpha Blast. It's what it sounds like. It's the alphabet A through Z. It can cover any topic. They had to think of words that related to what we were discussing. So we picked a generic one. It was Innovation Summit. What are words that you've heard throughout the day in Innovation Summit with the alphabet?
Nice.
I kind of put a little twist on it, and if multiple people had it, it didn't count. Oh. So we went around the room, we shared our learning, we talked about what we had learned. And then every so often I would throw little, a meteor shower hit, double, go as fast as you can. In the resources, you're going to see it. You don't have to stick to the script. You can make it whatever you want.
Think about in a science classroom or even math with those math terms, how you could use that. And it would get the kids thinking about,
all those vocabulary equations. Words in the instructional hub. I hear a lot of teachers say, hey, how would we really get the students to use those? There's your answer right there. Let's play Alpha Blast. You can do it as team. You can do it whole group. You can do it individual. That's the autonomy of a teacher. You can do what you want, how you want, make it your own. The next one would be the candy bar challenge. That one is so much fun. Who doesn't like to play with their food? So you can take any candy bar you can think of, relate it to a topic. The example that we gave was the skeletal system. So you have 2 bones in your arm. They're like a pair of Twix.
Sure. Yeah.
So just to help you, what is it? The jaw? I can't remember, but that was just the example that I gave, and I think that's in the resources. But I gave the challenge of money. Okay. All I said was money.
Right.
We had different levels from elementary to high school. How can you use money to relate it to the candy bars? So think first grade. My elementary comes out. It's going to be a big payday when you get a $1 bill, because they know that the $1 bill is the biggest one. So just kind of connecting the dots. What can they tell you? We had another one, Econ and Gov, I think, kind of thing. It's the big payday. you make $100,000 on payday, but the government takes such and such, like just different ways you can incorporate it.
And
There's
then
no
you
right or wrong.
snicker when the government
you
takes
snicker when
part
the
of that.
government
That
takes
was
half
one of
of
those.
it.
It was good.
Some people don't snicker.
Yeah, I mean, it's really just relate. What have the kids learned? What can they? And then the biggest thing is getting them to present to their audience. Like, people were learning things. Again, my brain automatically goes to the elementary setting, but the high school one with the government econ, I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right. Makes total sense. And then I think my favorite was the roast, toast, and boast.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the roast, toast, and boast. Who doesn't love a good roast? So we made this one a little bit harder. We gave them something they had no idea anything about. We gave them the periodic table.
Except we had a teacher, Miss Harrell was there from College Park Middle, and she goes, yes, she was so excited because she teaches science. She's like, I got this one.
Sure.
Yes. But they had to work on a team. They had to work in a team to come up with a 3-minute roast, toast, or boast. That's all we gave them. We gave them the topic. They had to decide. In the slides, you'll see the different categories, like what each one is.
Like what it means to roast or toast.
What it means to roast, what it means to toast, what it means to boast. And this is good. You're different learners. You have one kid that's going to be super good at writing, but they're not going to speak. So working as a team, you're going to have one teammate that's going to speak, that's going to do. So, I mean, we have never laughed so hard, and we don't give them anything. They can use their computer. They can use their prior knowledge. We even had one person to sing.
Oh, yeah, that was great.
To Alanis Morissette.
Okay.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
She was like, please forgive me. But, it was so
And we were
much
like,
fun.
keep going.
Yeah, keep going. And then I think the last one, I know I'm going super fast, but the last one is Survival Island. I told everybody in the session, I did not plan to get to this one because I thought it would take so much time.
You said that,
so we literally pulled this one out of the air as we were going, but we made it into the TDA. Think of all these TDAs. People get so anxious about TDAs because it's such a long process. It's hard for the kids to understand. So we took that. I took some passages, took all the different steps of TDAs, and I made it into resource, the Survival Island. Oh my goodness. I think hands down, this one may have been my favorite.
Oh, they were competitive too, but so
competitive.
But you could hear the groups reading it together and analyzing it together in order to get to the next step or the next clue.
Yes.
But I mean, the thought that was going into it.
We even had a couple of 3rd grade teachers to come to us afterwards. And they're like, we were actually talking about how dreadful the TDA was and how we're not ready to teach our kids this. And she goes, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
This was so much fun.
And you know what else they love? That you were so transparent saying, okay, this survival island was put together at the last minute. And they said, see, so seeing that you did it like real last minute is good and eye-opening for the teachers so that they know they don't have to spend all this time on it. It can come together quickly.
You can literally pull it.
What's one of the challenges with the Survival Island? Because I haven't seen this one.
So it's just like Survivor.
Okay.
I have a treasure chest, but there's a treasure chest, and each envelope has a different activity.
Okay.
There could be multiple, there could be one, but the challenge is you can only choose one of that. So you have to send one designated person from the team to the treasure chest.
Okay.
Grab the envelope. You have to go back to your table, solve it or figure it out as a team.
Okay.
The teacher is solely there for the
just kind of checking on.
Just checking. They can't tell you the answer. They can't tell you yes. They can't tell you no. You have to figure it out as a team. So they have to finish the task. It's approved or denied. If it's approved, they go and grab an object to build a tower. So they're actually working on something just like you would in Survivor. They were particularly building a tower.
Okay.
And every time they would pass a topic, they would get an object to help build their tower. So basically the tallest tower at the end wins.
Nice.
And boy, did they get
some
creative.
people super it
changed from just stuff from the treasure chest to how can I take the stuff from the treasure chest, or how can I use the computer as part of it, or the cabinet.
We could not say a word. We're just over there dying laughing.
And the tasks are surrounded the TDA?
Yep, the tasks were surrounded by TDA. So for example, close read it. Do
Okay.
you agree or disagree
Gotcha.
with the topic? And like you would go into more detail with it. Another one would be what is the main topic of this?
Yeah, some of it was pulling out details
to the
or
TDA, but the twist to it was I had multiple, like 5 of each thing. So they would get back to their table, and if it was the same task they've already completed, they had to take it back to the treasure chest, get another one. So it's like a delay in the game.
Sure.
And it was so much fun. And I had 2 different passages with the same thing.
Right.
So it could have kept going on and on
Sure.
and on. But just checking that, let's sit down and write something fun.
Yeah.
Step by step. If you do that and then bring it all to the end, I think the kids are going to be like, oh, I remember that.
And how much more they're going to remember out of it instead of the bottom of the
right. Let's get on here. Let's type on here. But that's just an example. You don't have to do the TDA. I just know that is a dreaded thing that's coming up.
Yeah, it could be used for anything. I think any of these could be used for applied to all levels and any subject, which is, I think, the beauty of it. Yeah.
That's why all levels and all subject areas were part of that presentation.
Yep. And just know that this right here was just a taste.
Yes, there's a lot more. Yeah.
There's a lot more. My goal, and Pam went to the session and Nicole was in there with me. I want to kind of move forward this at the Innovation Summit.
So what does that mean? That means you need to come to our Innovation
Absolutely.
Summit.
Yes. And that also means that this is going to be a workshop. You actually get to play. You get to sit down, be hands-on, see how it's used in a classroom setting. So it's not just like a sit and get. You were like diving into it to use into your classroom.
Sure.
And like I said earlier, you have all these resources. You're not set in stone. Make it your own.
Right.
And that's kind of what I
share with us.
Share. Yeah, absolutely. I would love to come in. Like I would play.
Yeah, absolutely. So, definitely a reminder. Check out the show notes for the resources. We got a link to the website. We've got a link to the authors. We have a link to the Schoology folder in our BCSD Connects that we can get you in there that has all the PowerPoints and examples that you can use in there as well. There's a link to the podcast video. There's a link to the Tech Tip video inside of our show notes and a link to the Innovation Squadcast PD and Unified Talent. Again, remember, just every 2 episodes that you listen to, you can get 1 hour of renewal credit. So take advantage of these podcasts to get some renewal credit. Don't forget to subscribe to them or follow them in Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts so that you get notifications of any new episodes. And we also want to hear from you. We want you guys to be on this podcast. We want your topics. So if you have any topics or you want to be on the podcast or something that you're doing in your classroom that you want to share to the teachers of Berkeley County, reach out to your ILC, reach out to one of us, and we'll be more than happy to get you on here.
I would love to hear this.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Even if you're doing, we've already talked about.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
We know there were so many. We read the feedback, and the feedback was fabulous.
Oh, yeah.
And just going around the room and hearing the feedback, but it'd be great to hear a little clip from any of the teachers.
Sure.
Yeah, to hear it from teachers.
Yes.
Yep. And if you're using this in your classroom, invite your ILCs in. We'd love to either come help support or just, again, be a part of it.
I would love to play. I would
love
to show you.
Yep. So we definitely want you guys to be a part of this as well. So reach out to us. And thank you guys for being here. Thank you for sharing gamification with us. And thanks everyone for listening.
Happy gaming.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hope everybody has a good time gaming and gamifying all their lessons. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.